Combining all of those skills together, the art and the science, the thinking and the doing, was what resulted in the exceptional result.
Today's session, it's Thursday, January 10th. You can see right there. And what I want to review is what a shift in momentum looks like. So this is the open. So we opened up here at 9:30, right, Eastern time, and you can see that we were opening just at the edge of yesterday's low, which is this kind of purple line right here that you guys see. So you'll see here, you can't tell because I have some other stuff in front of it, but it says prior day low, which is this line right there. Anyhow, so we were opening, we had a kind of like a very tight range, balanced out, and then you can start seeing sellers were taking a little bit of control, pretty slow, very just lack of participation on this on the open, which was quite surprising in my opinion. But anyhow, we start taking balancing up and down, up and down, up and down, but then we start getting this slow drift lower. You can tell that buyers are trying to lift, but no real volume coming in. Maybe some decent volume here on the sell side, but nothing really coming in, on the buy side. Every time we're pushing back up, we're kind of getting 6,000 contracts. Okay delta, but there's no follow through. There's no, boom and push up higher. What we're just getting down, we're just falling right back into range.
Head to the top of the hour. That's on the 30-minute time, looking out for the Singapore November retail sales, as well as Japan December Eco Watcher survey due at the top of the hour.
Alright, sorry about that. That's my news feed. Anyhow, so to continue on, so you can tell that we're just kind of chopping around in this range. So as we move forward throughout the morning, we start to get this grind lower, and volumes picking up a little bit. We got 14,000 contracts traded here on this bar. Okay delta on this push down. You can see that we had a max of 1,019, but we finished at 862. So nothing crazy, but we are trending lower. So what we want to see is, if we're going to take a short, we want to see a retest up here for this price action to hold, and then continue lower and tackle this zone right here that you guys see here in the green area. This is the next support zone. This support zone hadn't been holding, so now we're looking at the next zone that I had previously outlined. So as we're moving forward and we're starting to kind of slow grind down, we're about 15 minutes into the trading session, still pushing lower, and boom, there it is, right? So what does a shift in momentum look like? We're continuing this downtrend, right? Volume is picking up slightly, but you can see that it's nothing crazy. No real conviction or initiative drive in selling. It's just kind of more of this stair step down kind of grind. Pretty boring. If you don't catch it early, you're kind of just like, the pullbacks are pretty crappy, so I'm just gonna wait for something better to happen. And something better does happen. We get what I call a shift in momentum and a shift in flow right here. I mean, this could not be any more obvious that there's a definitely shift in momentum. We are moving lower. Last rotation down, we try to see sellers step in at minus 601 in delta, but we finish at minus 43. Okay volume with 7,200 contracts, but then the next bar, boom. What do you see here? You see some stop runs, right? This is everybody who's shorting on this price action getting stopped out. You see great, phenomenal momentum on just this one bar up, 27,000. That is astronomically larger than anything we've seen thus far, which is quite obvious. And then very good delta, very good aggressive buy side lifting, and we just sweep the book all the way back up. So at this point, what are we looking for, right? So when we get this shift in momentum, we break this downtrend, we get this boom burst up. So what I'm looking for now is, okay, I want to see this come back down, hold, and then push up. right? So that was my first trade of the morning. I was looking for a pullback and pushed right up. So we continue on with this. There we go. We get the pullback. I'm long in this area, 68 to 67s. I'm long, looking to scale out on the break of this initial test, and then I'm looking for what happens up here and what happens as we move higher, right? So as we move higher, you know, I have some targets up here at 82, 84 area. I'm sorry, 79, 82, 83, and then that was pretty much what I was looking for if we got some extension up. But so I'm in the long. I'm looking for the push up. Boom, we get this push up. So I get my initial scale out, right? Still holding some contracts, but then we get this kind of weak high, this double top. So I'm starting to think like, all right, you know, we got this double top. Any pullback into here, and as long as we hold inside of yesterday's low, I'm gonna add some contracts back on and look for the next push up, and then scale some, and then hold a runner. And I forgot to say that when I got long initially in this area, my stop was below 66. So my stop was right here. This was where my hard stop was. HS hard stop. Right? So we get this this weak high. We try to retest it. We retest it again. Okay, so now I'm feeling very confident that any pullback, maybe I should wait for that bar. So now I'm feeling that confident every pullback in this area, I'm going to go long. So this bar right here happened kind of slow. So we started coming down here, and it started holding this, and you can see. Let me try to delete this, but you could see with the size that's trading here, right? 700 by 523, 507 by 240. So there's some good size here. So I start adding, right? I add here, and I'm looking for the rotation back up. Then we start kind of falling a little bit back down, and I'm starting to get a little nervous here, but I'm holding. I have a stop here. But what I failed to do was, once I got my scale out previously, my stop was with the remaining contracts. Once I started adding here, I forgot to put add on my hard stop. So we get this flush all of a sudden, and you could tell, look, this right here is a stop run. You could tell because they sweep the order book on the bids here pretty aggressively. Nobody has a chance to even lift the offer, and we get this fast, swift down. And guess what? I get stopped out here, and then as we're pushing lower, I see I'm still long. I'm like, shit, I didn't get stopped out full on my full size. So what do? I hit the flat button. And where do I get out? Right here. I am part of this 38. Literally stopped out at the bottom tick, right? How do I know it's the bottom tick? Because check this out. What happens right after? We get this massive move back up. So I get stopped out, right? This right here is this right there. That's a flush, man. That's just basically get everybody out. I did not hear any news, anything that would have caused this move. This was just a pure bullshit. Flush everybody out who's long, and then let's rip the shorts who tried to jump on this short, thinking that we were gonna just bail down and then rip everybody's face off to the upside. But this stuff happens, guys. You know, shit happens in trading. You know, you're gonna get stopped out. Yes, you had the correct read, but you can't let that affect you. So what I did was, the minute I saw this reverse come back up, I see them lifting, and then right here, once I saw this, I got back in. Now, I didn't get back in with the full size I got stopped out. I got back in with less size because I wanted to make sure that it doesn't just sweep up and then come right back down. But shit, it never came back down. It just kept going and going and going. I mean, we got this crazy, just constantly lifting. This wasn't like it was super fast, but they were just taking out orders. I mean, you see the lifting here, they lift more here, right? Stop everybody out, and they're just constantly just lifting. I mean, it was just slow, not too slow, but it was nothing where I was hoping for a rotation, come back down, test this area right here that was holding, and then so I can add and then look, because now at this point I realize, all right, my idea was right. The shift of momentum was there. The buy side is the dominant side. This was just a bunch of bullshit right here stopping me out, but whatever, shit happens. Get back in and try to add some size again, and then look for those targets up above. So but we know there was just no real decent pullback. You know, this is pretty shallow. There's nothing really for me to do, so I'm just basically holding the size I have, and then boom, we get another up rotation. I mean, I know I'm holding here because, I mean, look, 31,000 contracts traded on that rotation. 31,000 contracts, 27,000, almost 28,000. So the buy side is dominant. Yeah, we had 15,000 here, but it was instantly taken back. So again, I just look at this as a bullshit washout, and we get this impulse up 11 points. We flag a little bit, you know, no real rotation back. I would have taken anything in here, anything that the market would have gave me. I would have added a little bit and then looked for the next rotation up, but it doesn't matter what I want. I didn't get it. We flag here, and then boom, next rotation up, right? This is an area that I had of key importance. As you can see here, I labeled it as an over under. So as we start pushing in here, I'm wondering, are we going to just squeeze through this? Are we going to hover? Are we going to finally pull back? You know, I'm assessing this in real time, and so we you know, we continue to push. We get that next burst up, and then once I see the failed into the 79.75s and come right back down, I decide to take my trade off. So I take the trade off, thinking that, okay, there was the last push up. Now let's see if we start to kind of drift a little bit lower here, fill in a little bit this weak volume that we left behind, and then boom, go for the next leg if buyers are serious. You can tell here that this was almost starting to become like a little shift of momentum. Good delta, volume picking up again to the sell side. We've had this extravagant move up with no real pullback, so I thought, in my opinion, that's a good place to flatten out. You know, I flattened out pretty much right here because this area right here where these guys lifted didn't hold, so I said, let me get out, and I'll look at here, or I'll look back into this area where we had all this size and maybe get back in. But again, it doesn't matter what I want or what I think. We decided to hold 75.75, and then we started flagging again. So once I see this and I see that we're really not going anywhere, I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to get back in, because again, I have this gap close target up here, and I think that we're going to flag again and then burst up. So I start getting in with a little bit of size, and then I decided I'm going to try and take a what I pretty much call a breakout trade. If we break out above here, I'll add, you know, very small side, just to see if I can get that another impulse, like we've been getting these impulses, and see if we get the next impulse up, and I'll quickly scale out of it. And that was my thought process. So, you know, this trade kind of trade sideways, and then boom, we get the next impulse. I do get the add right here. I do get the scale out right here, and then I'm looking to scale out up here. And you know, we start pushing, and then finally, you know, we get the up rotation into the 85s, and I'm flat for the day, for the morning, and that was the trade. But what I want to emphasize is all this started because we identified the shift in momentum early on here, right? So going back again into it, we have this slow grind trending lower, You know, nothing really happening, you know, kind of weak sauce all the way around. This was pretty much the only good thing, but there was no continuation, real continuation with another additional volume coming in. And then we get the first real shot across the bow here saying, hey, pay attention. You know, we're not messing around here. Buyers really came in and lifted it up. So the trade wasn't easy. I mean, when I got in here and I started getting my scale outs, I was like, this is perfect trade location. You know, this is going to be a pretty sweet trade for the day, but you know, shit happens. I got stopped out of that trade. I could have sat here and been pissed off and been like, damn it, man, damn it, why'd I add, blah 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 blah. But no, you know, I quickly realized, okay, I got flushed out, but I'm gonna get right back in. Nothing stops you from getting right back in if what your thesis was, what your read on the order flow, on the price action is confirmed, you know, as volume comes right back in. You got stopped out, big whoop, dude. That's trading. You're gonna get stopped out a lot of times. So the best thing I did today was not letting my emotions or frustration get to me, and just boom, getting right back in. And then look, you know, yeah, I took a nice little pretty large loss here, but I made it all the way back and some, right? I could have stopped and not taken this next move or anything up here, and you know, been sitting on a nice little loss. But I decided that that's just not how I trade. I got flushed out, get right back in, and you know, you make back your loss, and then you come, you know, even profitable for the day. So that's the trade. A little bit of the overview. Let me show you. Let me pull this chart in here for you guys so you can kind of see it on a Renko. So then here you go. Let's see here. So here's the impulse up, right? There's the order flow impulse up. Here's the chart impulse up. Pull back, like I said, I was waiting for. There's where I get in long. There's my scale out. Here's where I start adding. I don't know why that looks like there, but I'm adding, and then you see that red line right here? That was my hard stop, and then boom, what I tell you guys, I got stopped out at the very low. I flattened out because I realized, shit, I'm still long. But then, look, market starts ripping right back up. I get in, I hold, right? Add, scale, those, like I was just telling you guys. So that was the trade. You know, what I was looking for initially was the push, pull, boom, 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 right? I didn't expect all this shit. I actually wasn't here for this. I stepped away from the trade after that, but that's what I wanted. I didn't expect this area. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect this deep pullback and then rip in your face. But again, things don't happen perfectly like you want them to. So the fact is, can you adapt? Can you quickly get back in without letting your emotions of frustration, of anger, of, you know, whatever else you tell yourself, you know, when things don't go right? This is not a game for the weak-minded. This is a game for people who can adapt quickly and make decisions and understand probabilities. And you know, if you can read market order flow like I'm trying to explain in these videos, I believe it gives you an additional edge. Alright, I hope this video made sense. I don't know how long I rambled on here for, but I'm going to cut it right here. I just want to show you guys again what it looks like when we have a shift in momentum. Okay, I mean, this is like an ideal textbook kind of trade. Grind, boom, shift in momentum, shift in volume, shift in flow, and you know, then you start looking to trade in the direction of the flow, follow the flow. So that's the whole premises of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed and you're new to this channel, I'm starting it. I'm trying to get you know, a nice community going and two-way chat, so please subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next trade. Take it easy.
Combining all of those skills together, the art and the science, the thinking and the doing, was what resulted in the exceptional result.